All right, welcome. So, how are we doing today? I hope all is well. Are we doing good? So, we talked a little bit yesterday about B.E.S.T. Um, Today, I wanted to change gears a little bit, but we will still talk about B.E.S.T. And then also, we talked about the sage. I usually started off with the little smudging. Um, but the other day, I got into where I've also read about sound. This is a little bell off a wind chime that fell and broke. And so just this, using that around the house. I know it's kind of silly, even cheesy. But again, you're setting the intentions of this producing a sound wave, and it's going out and it's just pushing all that negative, all that um, stagnant, just, the energy you don't want. You want to bring in new, cleaner, clearer energy. It's like opening windows in a sense, energetically. But yeah, even this, and then you can go to each corner of the room, and I'm just kind of waving it in the corner, you know. And that, even that will help. I know it's a little silly bell. You can get different kinds. Like I said, I've even heard people use the big triangle dinner bells. Um, you know, it's sound. Even clapping. I said that yesterday. Clapping, you can go around, and you can even do that in the rooms, in the corners. And again, at least for me, you all want to set an intention. But as far as for myself, the way that I do it in my mind, in my imagination, as well as physically, I see the room, say in my imagination, I picture it all kind of say cloudy or hazy, and I almost like Credible Hulk or I don't know who else does a big thunderclap, and even that thunderclap, and it's boom, and it goes out and it pushes and disperses all that energy out, and so now I have this clear space. And then I like the sage because it's kind of like incense. It smokes, and so to me it's pushing out everything, but it's also filling it with something. So that's what's helped pushing it out. The clap, I feel, sometimes you're pushing it out, but it might fade a little bit back in, and we don't want that. But again, I guess it's all about your intentions. If you set the intention that you're going to clap and that energy is going to go out through the walls and then be blocked, energetically, that wall's going to strengthen, and then you'll just have that good energy. Now, that's an idea. That's, again, it's intention. So you're setting your intention. If that's sliding in my chair. If that's your intention, not saying it won't happen, not saying it will, I don't know. But that's how I've learned. That's, one of the strongest things is before you do your energy work, before you do, anything, you set your intention. What, even for the day. That's what we'll get into talking about manifesting your day. It's setting intentions for the day is really basically, we got these mantra cards, but even just, self affirmations are a type of mantra, and that's even setting up your life, not even just your day, but like, I am, I don't know, awesome, or say, I am a good looking man, that I'm, as an affirmation for me, it's going to help build my confidence. It's going to, and some people say they don't work. I'll leave that up to you. I've also heard intensity. It's kind of like the mantras that we were doing yesterday. We can say them really quiet, or we can say them really loud. I don't want to do it too loud because I don't want to bust your ears in the mic. But, we can intensity, high intensity, whether it's like la or very quiet or very loud. That helps with getting, the affirmations or the mantras through. So we can always look at that in a sense we can always do that in a sense as far as building ourselves up. Now, again, some people don't think they work. I would say try it for yourself. I even prefer or enjoy shooting my bow and arrow, archery. And even doing archery, I'll do affirmations as I'm pulling it back, like I'm focusing on my shot and I want to shoot good or, hit the bullseye. But on top of that, I'm also um, say instilling myself. In fact, actually, I saw a video the other day of somebody and they had a little jar. I don't know. Anyway, they had a jar of pens and they would say something about themselves and they would throw it. And if it was true, then the pen would make it in the jar. Or supposedly that was the idea about it. Maybe that's the same thing with the arrows that I've been doing and not knowing. As I say it and the closer I get to the bullseye, the truer it is for me. I don't know. But I enjoy saying them as I'm shooting. Even with laughter yoga, they've got some fun, silly songs that I'll even sing just to kind of help raise my vibration and makes me kind of laugh. And, they're silly songs. There's one song me and my kids enjoy. It's about a bad hair day. My hair got into a fight, I think is what it is. It's a pretty silly, funny song. But, me not having any hair, well, I guess my beard, but not having any hair on the top of my head, I think it's a pretty funny song to drive around listening to, especially with my kids. Anyway, it's back to what you set your intentions as. If you set them that you're going to have a good day, bad things might come up, but that's how you're going to focus and look at them. Yeah. That's enough on that. We'll move along. All right. So yesterday's card was I Am Love. I started leaving the card upside right so that I can see it. So that was yesterday's card. We'll put it back in the deck. I don't imagine getting the same card twice, but I guess it could happen. All right. Another thing, even with B.E.S.T, that I thought was interesting, and so I was talking about the jar and throwing the pens in, and if it's a true statement, you make it, or say if it works. I don't know. I'll have to play with it, honestly. I have no idea. But me doing archery and me saying an affirmation and shooting, say a bullseye, does that mean that I believe the affirmation more? I don't know. That would be a fun experiment to play with. I don't know how. I don't know. It's interesting how things work. How energy, coincidences or what is it? There's I guess it's a quote. I think I first heard it in a movie or something, but they said, "I, like God, do not play with dice," or play with dice, basically playing chances. So coincidences are something; they're not chance or accident. There's something to be said for them. Whoa, there's something to be noted about, I guess. So yeah. Anyway. Oh, and actually, yesterday I shared the text with joy. Text with joy. And let's do that again today. Oh, no, it doesn't look like it's come in yet today, so that's all right. We'll just continue with the mantra cards. But yeah, anyway, again, I would recommend going over to Facebook, text for joy, that's the number 4, and they send out a daily meditation. It's great. I love it. It's like yesterday, I was wearing a green shirt, and the daily meditation said to think of green. I think we found our card too. And I was like, is that a coincidence? I don't know. I guess maybe we'd have to start by looking at what the definition is and working our way from there. I don't know. That's how I would imagine to do things. Supreme Light is the card we got. Looks like a sun. There you go. That's actually seemed like a pretty good that you guys could actually get that. Alright, so Supreme Light. Om Surya Yahaya. Om Surya Yahaya. Yaha. Yahaya. Alright. We'll go to the book. 24. Alright. Om Surya. Oh, haha, I totally left off part of it. Okay, so it's Om Surya Yahaya Namaha. 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 Alright. Om Surya Namaha. I left off the Namaha, so. Sun salutations, the supreme light, the dispeller of darkness. Chant this mantra with, gratefulness of heart and mind, so we can begin to feel the divine flow of light and energy active within our body. Once we hold the light within our space to those around us and brings us all into a place of peace. We all need is one half of one. Once we hold the light within it spreads to those around us and brings us all into a place of peace. We all need is one half of 1% of the human population on this planet to be torches of the supreme light, to elevate the whole planet out of the darkness. Where there is light, darkness will flee. Where we stand, we elevate those around us just by being a carrier of the supreme light. Even in everyday activities, call in the light, hold it up for all to see, that it may lift and elevate this planet. As our light so shines, we give permission for others to shine as well. When there is dimness and darkness around, our light will shine even brighter and attract those that need to see it. A candle never loses anything by lighting another candle. So shall it be with us. We carry this supreme light. That's awesome. I really like that. There's a part in here real quick where it talks about elevating, because I got that wrong. I said that. Anyway, but it talks about elevating. It talks about the light. Only a few people need to carry the torch to elevate the light. It's interesting that that even came up. Now, again, you could say that's coincidence. I don't know. But Monday, next week, we will go into Power versus Force, and I will start talking about that. And in Power versus Force, was a really great book written by Dr. David R. Hawkins, and he's an MD as well as PhD, if I remember right. Anyway, we'll get more into that. But yeah, he wrote the book Power versus Force. It was interesting because while I was in college, in my logic class, I asked my logic teacher, is there any book that you would recommend? And Power versus Force was one of them. He also recommended another book I wasn't able to find. But anyway, so Power versus Force, I got that book. I started reading it. What was crazy is about halfway through that book, I realized that it had a lot of things that B.E.S.T was even talking about in it. And so I went to my mentor and I was like, man, you got to read this book. It's amazing. It's called Power versus Force, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, whoa. I'm going to stop you right there. We've already read it. A lot of people in B.E.S.T read it because it is so similar. And I was like, oh, wow, like, awesome. So two different things, two different sources, if you will, are both telling me to go look into the same information. One being the teacher, the other being, my mentor telling me. but it was just, it was really interesting. And I wouldn't even say maybe he was my mentor at the time, as far as, I mean, he's my uncle, he's an older family member, but but I would say not as far as um with B.E.S.T, with, with the energy work, in a sense. Like, I've always learned from him, but a little different. And then the other one being my logic teacher, and so they were both like, "Oh, this is fascinating stuff. Look into it," kind of thing. Anyway, but yeah, and so in Power versus Force, it talks about that, and it has a map of consciousness, which is great. Anyway, back to the mantra, chant for change. All right. So the Supreme Light. Om Surya Ya Yahaya Namaha. Om Surya 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 Namaha. All right. It's interesting, actually, saying this. I would think, just Supreme Light, I would think more in the chest might be, but I was feeling this more in my forehead area. Like, I don't know. It's interesting. But I have, that's something when I chant these, I do try to focus on, or feel my energy, in a sense, where it's going. So yeah, that's today's card. That was pretty awesome. I'll leave that face up, so Monday we can see what card it is. Tomorrow is Saturday, so I will not be on tomorrow. I'll be actually hanging with my kids, doing something fun. Maybe go see a new movie or something, I don't know. Back to B.E.S.T. B.E.S.T, there are 3 types of B.E.S.Ts. There's family B.E.S.T, emotional B.E.S.T, and physical B.E.S.T. Through kinesiology, or actually, and I'm still learning this, so applied kinesiology is what we use, and that's muscle testing. And regular just kinesiology is the study of the movement of the body, or how the body moves. And so, from what I'm learning, there is kind of a separation there. So I'm talking more about applied kinesiology, I guess, from what I understand. And also, again, Dr. David R. Hawkins gets into that. From what I understand in the book, Power versus Force, he's one of the people who pioneered it. We'll get more into that next week. With kinesiology, though, it's used with applied kinesiology is used with B.E.S.T. Now, each practitioner is going to be a little bit different, but for the most part, you'll come in, you use massage table. I called them B.E.S.T tables for a long time, but it's a massage table, and you come in and you lay down face up. And laying down, you should be in rest and relaxation mode. There should be no reason, you're in fight or flight. You should be nice and relaxed. That's part of why they have people lay down. Now, if somebody was in a wheelchair, or say there wasn't a bed around, somebody was sitting down, could you perform B.E.S.T? Yes, you still could. You definitely could. From what I've learned and seen, yes. But the massage table is a nice neutral, place for people to relax. So they lay you down on the massage table, and then we'll do muscle tests, or I believe called arm check, leg check, but they're basically muscle tests. Get a baseline. You should be nice and relaxed, where if your muscles are tensing up while you're laying down, then that's a sign of the defense physiology, the fight or flight that you're in, and that we want to pull you out of and put you back into the rest and relaxation mode. From what I remember, family B.E.S.T at one point was called baby B.E.S.T because it was a basic procedure that you could do even on babies, because they're not going to hold still or let you do muscle tests. But the physical B.E.S.T and the professional B.E.S.T, or say emotional B.E.S.T, those are done. You'll need more of the client to help you with that, or as far as to relax and allow you to do the muscle testing. What we look for, or what we're going to do then, is basically just ask what is in your greatest highest need, and then once we get that, we use a emotion, a word, joy, happy, there is a really cool emotion list they've got, and I'm not going to show you it. Maybe at a later date and time we can or will, but there's a negative side of emotions and positive. And then again, the other day we were talking about the story where you're coloring in your room and you're drawing on your walls because you're so excited and happy, and you have no paper, and you think, oh, I'm going to remember this awesome time of moving into a house. Your dad comes in and starts yelling and screaming. You have that negative emotion of shame tied with the positive emotion of creativity. That's what this emotion helps us to look for. We've got a negative emotions, positive emotions. What's interesting is even the emotions on the negative side, some of them are still positive, and people go, why is that? Or why do you have the same emotion on both sides? Well, because different people experience that emotion differently. And that's another thing with B.E.S.T that I thought was really powerful, is it's not saying that it's good or bad. It's, it will be, or we'll find out, kind of. Anyway, so you have the feelings, and so you'll find the feeling, and sometimes there's not a negative one. Sometimes there's just positive emotion. And then there's a dominant frequency. Now, I was a little confused with the dominant frequency. I was wondering why we would use that, but I've come to understand it better. It's like a key, in a sense. It's a frequency, a vibration. And each dominant frequency, so those are 1 through 9, in a sense. I might say, think of joy 4. And joy is an emotional feeling, happiness, this joyful, like, yay, and then you're going to think 4. And why would you think number 4? Well, again, I don't know why that particular number out of all the other numbers, but 4 has a specific frequency, or again, if we're looking at, say, a key, I don't even have my keys on me. So it has a key or ridges on it, and that key turns and opens and unlocks that specific door. So we use a dominant frequency because it has a frequency. It has a certain vibration to it, and that vibration is going to help us to get into the subconscious and help cancel out that interference that we talked about yesterday, the trauma toxins and thoughts. That's way to boil it down. Again, we say that it's interference, or it's hard to say, oh, well, this is exact, because it might be more than one thing. But again, with the B.E.S.T, you'll come in, you lay down, we'll do the arm check, leg check, it's just a baseline, find out, if you are in fight or flight, kind of see where you're at. From there, then we'll go into, depending on what your energy field, what your body's telling us you need through, again, the applied kinesiology. I've played with that with some friends and stuff. It's really amazing, powerful stuff. It's basically just a yes or no question. So your practitioner is just going to ask, does this person need family B.E.S.T? Does this person need physical B.E.S.T? And your body's going to give it a yes or no. Okay, yes, you need physical B.E.S.T. Okay, well, with physical, actually, let's go back to professional. It says professional, emotional B.E.S.T. Okay, so we give, the dominant frequency, an emotion, and then sometimes it's holding your breath, sometimes it's a rhythm, just a regular rhythmic breathing, just depending. And then the practitioner will get contact points. They'll come over and hold the contact points while you're thinking of that dominant frequency and the emotion. And then, when the energy synchronizes, when the practitioner can feel that it's flowing properly throughout your body the way it's supposed to, they'll have you kind of do a reset, and just kind of a small adjustment, or I shouldn't say adjustment, it's just a small Yeah, I guess it's you doing it yourself, but you just kind of lift up, touch your chin to your chest. They say that realigns the spine when you're doing that. So you'll touch your chin to your chest and then just kind of lay back down, and then they'll go into the second part. Because again, there could be, I know I've had either same emotion come up or the same frequency. So it might be a different emotion every time, and we might do this 3 or 4 times, holding these contact points, having them think these. And then at some point, I'll get down there and I'll say, is it this or is it that? And, kind of asking my yes or no questions, and I won't be getting any answers. It'll all kind of say no, no, no. And then I'll be like, okay, are we done? Is this, the end of the session? And I get a clear yes. Okay, well, does this person need homework? Sometimes, again, a yes or a no. So that's kind of just a basic of the emotional. It looks like we're going a little over, but I started a little late, so we're going to keep going. So with physical B.E.S.T, the person will roll over and lie face down. We do a leg check with that, and then depending on what the leg check tells us, if you're in fight or flight or not, in rest and relaxation, then it depends on the contact points. We'll again hold certain contact points till we can tell that the energy's flowing properly, and then go back to the feet and check them again until the pain has gone down. Like, say if it's an 8, if it's even a 6 or a 7, that's a good sign because it's now starting to decrease. Obviously if it's 4 or 3, then that's even better. We don't always get that. Sometimes it's just gradually, and then I've been told later that day the pain was gone by the end of the day, but it's not an instant. It's a gradual thing. So anyway, with the physical B.E.S.T, they have you lying face down, do a couple leg checks, hold contact points, do a couple more leg checks. Now they will do some kinesiology, asking left side, right side, where, trying to pinpoint this pain in the body or this placement. Now this is what's so powerful to me, is because when I heard about Dr. Mortar, and he had a slight adjustment, it wasn't popping and cracking, and this is back, chiropractor when he was first, I guess, pioneering B.E.S.T, and it was a half adjustment, but the bone went back into place. Well, so what we're doing is we're allowing the body to realize what's out of place through these contact points, and allowing that innate intelligence, not only that, but again, helping you slip back into parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and relaxation. We want you to, the body will self-correct. We've seen it. It's amazing. I've even seen range of motion tests with people where, they have limited range of motion, even just turning their head, and after a couple treatments, they can really turn their head. It's amazing. Anyway, so with the physical B.E.S.T, it's face down, hold a couple contact points, do some leg checks, make sure where the energy's flowing and that the body's in rest and relaxation mode. After that, probably roll you back over, ask a couple more yes or no's, and then maybe give you your homework if there is any. Try and find a better way than saying homework. Give you your active healing chores. No, I don't like chores either. Anyway, we'll figure something out. So then family B.E.S.T. Again, from what I understood, it was originally called baby B.E.S.T because it was for babies. But the family B.E.S.T is for families to learn. In fact, there's a great family kit, family B.E.S.T kit you can order, and you can learn just a basic version of family B.E.S.T that you can do on your kids, or your spouse, your significant other can work on you, and you guys can trade. You work on them, they work on you. In fact, that's how my first B.E.S.T mentors. That's an interesting. So my first mentors in B.E.S.T are my aunt and uncle. Awesome, amazing people. But one of the coolest things that not only I noticed, but a lot of people around us noticed, is that they both took it and they both were treating each other. And as far as I know, it's probably every morning and every night. But that was powerful because then they had an on-hand best practitioner that anytime they needed, they could get a treatment. Now, some of you just go, "Oh, that's cool." No, that's huge. That's way awesome. Like, that's, yeah. Talk about, skyrocketing your growth. Anyway, so yeah, with that, you can learn a family home kit and you can practice on each other, which is great. And those are really the three basic, or I shouldn't even say basic, but those are the three types of B.E.S.Ts that I've learned and certified with, that I know how to do, that I have done. If you haven't experienced it, I would say look into it. Now, depending on your area, depending on what city you live in, it can be more expensive than others. That's something just did myself and my own practitioner, trying to find a good price point. I want it to where it's valued, but it's also affordable. That's for future discussion. So with B.E.S.T, the main, let me think. So with B.E.S.T, it's a energy healing, energy working modality. Not sure how you want to say that. I'll be honest, I'm not even sure what the exact legal terms on all that is. I know that only doctors can heal or cure or prescribe or any of that. I don't do any of that. I'm just trying to give you some good information. Ask that you go look it up on your own or contact a B.E.S.T practitioner near you that you could maybe talk to. Again, there's lots of information even on the internet. The Mortar Health Alliance gives great information. That's where I got a lot of this, not just for my own studying, going to the classes and learning, but I did a little bit of research online and stuff. I would say without a doubt B.E.S.T has helped me. It has changed my life for the better. It's a very powerful technique, and it's definitely life-changing, I would say, if you let it. And the reason why I say if you let it is because it's not a one, go to just one and that's it. My biggest shift or change with B.E.S.T happened when I went up to Seattle. Now, before I even went to Seattle, and that's training, before I ever decided to train and to do this, I probably had a good 25, 50 treatments from my aunt and uncle, my mentors. And, part of that was them wanting to learn, and so they'd be like, "Hey, can we get you to lay down on the table real quick?" And I wanted to help, so yeah, of course. Not only that, but I wanted to see if there was something to this. Part of me was like a little skeptic, and let's find out. Maybe this is real, maybe it isn't. I now fully believe that it is. I would definitely encourage you in any way that I can. If I got to double dog dare you, if I've got to just give you this wonderful information and you go, I want to know more about that, I would encourage you to look into this. It's powerful. I keep saying that, I know, but to me it was. Again, I had quite a few treatments. I did luck out. I will, that is something I'm thankful and grateful for. I will definitely always count my lucky stars that it was family that brought this to me, because if it would have been, I learned about this and I would have had to pay at the beginning. Not that I didn't, because I did help them out. They were family. I paid how I could, and that's even something that I've started to look into and learn about. I don't want to say it because I think I have the wrong word in mind, but it's basically just trade work. It's, if I can help you and you can help me, cool, let's help each other. Let's scratch each other's backs, if you will. But anyway, that was how I was able to get my foot in the door with B.E.S.T. It was family, and they were willing to help, and I was willing to help. So it was a win-win situation. After that, I mean, when it was me going for the training, I paid for all that. I mean, we did carpool travel together, so that definitely helped. Sharing a hotel, things like that. But as far as through the Mortar Alliance and all that, anyway, I don't want to get too much into that. My point was that I was really thankful and grateful because this was not something I would have sought out. I wasn't looking for it. But I just went over to family dinner, and there was two massage tables laying in the living room, and I was like, "Hey, what are these?" And they said, "Hey, get on the table and I'll show you." And I did, and yeah, it was awesome. So sometimes when life gives you something unexpected, sometimes it's worth it to take the plunge. Sometimes it's worth it to go, yeah, let's try that out. Why not? That is about all the time I have for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a wonderful time. I did too. Yeah, thank you again. And I will see you guys Monday, where we will start on the book Power versus Force. Not sure how we're going to break that up. It is a pretty big book, probably a couple chapters a day. So anyway, thank you so much. Also, we will continue the mantras and talking about meditations for the first, few minutes of each show. Anyway, again, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. It's been a blast. Tried to mix those. Blast. I don't know. Kind of like fungin. Anyway, we'll get into that later. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.